Hello and welcome back to Tiki Tuesday. I'm Brian Miller. I am a comic book colorist and artist. I work on all kinds of fun things, from Star Wars and Archer and Rick and Morty to comic books and superheroes and everything in between. And what I like to do is get together on Tuesdays for Tiki Tuesday, where we can share our favorite cocktail recipes and talk about our favorite tiki bars. And then I always draw something usually tiki related. So I'd like to start off by welcoming everyone to Tiki Tuesday, and cheers to you. Hope you're having a great week so far. Now that's a good Mai Tai. Tonight we're enjoying this out of the Tiki Tango Tipsy Rum Barrel mug. I don't know if you can tell that, but even when you sit it flat, the rum barrel's on an angle. So the Tipsy Rum Barrel. Hey, great to see you. Let's do this. It's been too long, my friend. Good to see you. Let's do this. Just resubscribed with Twitch Prime on a 16-month run. Can you believe that? 16 months. We've been streaming for 16 months. And remember, Let's Do This, it don't cost you a dime to subscribe to Octopolis with Twitch Prime. So there you go. In case the Ring doorbells are watching, we got that out of the way. Good to see you, Randy Cakes. Good to see you, Chow Time. Aloha, says Chow Time. Good to see all of you guys. So hope things are going well. I know Randy Cakes and Chow Time, you've got something new on your Clark and Dagger store, right? I know I saw something pop up in my feed. Feel free to share with all of us what that is, because you know we want to know. Might be something that everybody's interested in. But yeah, let us know for sure. Quinch Press is on Discord, says, I suppose I could join. Well, we sure hope you do. So tonight, got a little spooky treat for you guys. I've been working on some designs based around like an old-fashioned like diving helmet. So this is one of two designs I've been working on. I guess not really working on. I haven't worked on anything yet, but thinking about. I've been thinking about. So I thought we'd get in here with the brush tonight and just kind of rough in some ideas and get some things going here with this. And we'll just talk about, maybe we get inspired by this and it'll bring up some new things. Let's Do This says, I didn't see your name on the list for New York Comic Con. No, Let's Do This. I'm not back to cons just yet. I know a few of my friends are. Probably the next thing coming up for me is going to be at the Smithsonian. I'm waiting on final dates and times for that. That'll probably be my only 2021 event. But we'll probably have a lot more going on in 2022. So yeah, no New York Comic Con for me. Sad but true. But I'm excited for everyone who does get to go, and if you're going, that'll be great. I'm sure you'll run into Joe Caroni and Brian Fife and whoever else is going to be able to make that. But I'm not back into the convention scene just yet. Now, my local con, Phoenix Comic Con, they reached out to me and they're like, oh, hey, we want to make sure you're still on board for 2022. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'd like to support my local con. But then I found out it's the same dates as Star Wars Celebration. So, I hate to say it, but odds are that I will probably be at Star Wars Celebration. So, no one knows yet, right? We don't know, but usually I'm there in some capacity. So, we shall see. But again, cheers to you guys. Happy Tiki Tuesday. Randy Cake says the local animal shelter here had a fire, so we're doing a fundraiser for them. We have kitty phone holders for sale, and $5 from each one goes to the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando. We have a video about it on our Instagram, and you can check out everything at clarkanddaggerco.com. So Yeah, go support that. And you know, guys, I know from someone who makes and sells things that giving $5 from every sale to a charity is actually a big deal, because usually the profit margins on these things are really tiny. So I think that's a really good thing they're doing, and if you have the ability to support them, please do. Chow Time says, yes, we will be at Star Wars Celebration. Let's grab a drink together. So, yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, again, in some way, shape, or form, I will like 90% most likely be there. I only say that because who knows what's going on with the world right now, but in a perfect world, I will be there. And I've not been fast to jump back on the Comic-Con train. So I don't know, maybe I should have, but after the 8-month-long Smithsonian project, I've really just been trying to catch up on art and stuff. I know several of you guys have already grabbed the new Back to the Future artwork. I appreciate that. I'm working on some new Ghostbuster artwork, and hope to have that out sometime in October. So, you know, things are moving forward, which is really nice. We'll see about new Star Wars art. I've had a couple people ask me about that. I really just don't have anything to share on that end of things right now. So I'd like to say like irons in the fire and stuff like that, but it's too premature to really say anything about Star Wars or Marvel or anything like that at the moment. But you know, again, I'm just getting back into the swing of things after this big project, so it'll take some time, but I can tell you guys that, you know, if everything works out with Star Wars Celebration, I will definitely have some new Star Wars art out, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Les Duda says, I was just at a con in Connecticut that required proof of vaccination or a 48-hour negative test. That's really great. I think that's good. I went to a non-Comic-Con event in August, and one of the reasons I went was they were doing proof of vaccination. Only here's what happened. Are you vaccinated and can you prove it? Yes. Okay, prove it. You do. Here's your wristband. The next person behind me. Are you vaccinated and can you prove it? No. Here's your wristband. Please wear a mask. They wear their mask 30 feet until they're inside the event, and then they throw it on the ground. So that was a bit of a disappointment. At least give the non-vaccinated people a different colored wristband from the vaccinated people, so then you know who's supposed to be wearing the mask and who's not. But anyway, hopefully other events will do better than that. We shall see. My cat just joined us. She's here in the room. I'll see if I can grab her. I don't know if I can. She's a little wild right now. She's trying to throw my markers on the ground. What are you doing? What are you doing, Indio? Smile for the camera. Oh, there she is. She's like, what's going on? What's going on? She says, I'm wild. You can't contain me. No, that's good. Let's do this. Do you mind saying what con that was? I'm not sure what cons are in Connecticut. Let's do this. Says the guy behind me asked for a supervisor and said they didn't bring any proof except this. Turned around and this was a Walgreens I got vaccinated sticker. That's pretty funny. And did that count as proof? I saw a thing on the news about Customs and Border Patrol and all the fake vaccine cards that they're trying to intercept coming in from overseas. But of course they said what I had thought all along, which is that, you know, intercepting them from overseas is easy, but intercepting them from ones that are made within the US is almost impossible. And so any unscrupulous printing businesses, and I would imagine there are several that are owned by crazy people, would have no problems making fake ones. And they're so easy to forge. I mean, you probably don't even need design software. You could probably just do it in like Word or something. So it's pretty crazy. Randy Cakes is like, oh, so cute. Yeah, that's Indio. We adopted her, I don't know, it's been like 2 years ago now. And she was originally from a shelter in Palm Springs, and I guess they got full and gave her to a shelter here in Phoenix. And so that's why we named her Indio after Palm Springs. And also because we can refer to her as Indy, which is nice, being that Christy's an archaeologist and everything. But she loves me. She's great, but she'd be really wild sometimes. And so if the mood strikes her, she could be a real little demon child for sure. And so we adopted another cat. Oh gosh, has it been over a month or 6 weeks ago now? Hassan, and he's finally starting to settle in, but he's still a real scaredy cat, and Indio likes to terrorize him a little bit. Although, if he doesn't have to fight back, if he just stands his ground and like refuses to back down, she'll act like the victim, and she'll like run into a corner and be like, oh, and like start screaming and stuff, and we're like, you started that shit. So she's used to being the only child. Chow Time says she's freaking out next to me, lol. Let's Do says this one was called Kineticon. That's good. Kineticon. It sounds like an Autobot or something, or maybe a Decepticon. I don't know. Kineticon, roll out. Let's Do says no. They turned him away. Many people were rejected from admission. Well, at least they were sticking to their guns. That's nice. Quinch Press says aloha. Good to see you, Quinch Press. We saw you posting on Discord. Glad you made it over here. Working on a fun little design tonight. I'll tell you guys more about it, but I want your feedback first. Or maybe, I don't know. Should I get your feedback first, or should I tell you my thoughts first and then get your feedback? I don't know. But I have ideas. I mean, I always have ideas. It's just time to act on them is tough. I was going to say something like I have bad time management. I don't think that's the case at all. I think my clients have poor time management, and that I have to pay the price for that. Is it like can you see the octopolis on the bottom? Probably not. It should be a commercial every time I take a drink, right? Chow Time says Hassan as in from the warrior. Well, I don't know about that, but Hassan means good boy in Arabic. And so Chrissy thought that would be a good name for him. He's this really weird dark brown, almost black color with golden eyes. And so I just call him Coco Panther. So his official name is Hassan, but I like to call him Coco Panther, because he looks like a Coco Panther to me. And it's funny, he's a scaredy cat, but he's super muscular, like really dense. Like if you if you go to pet him or something, you can feel like just how muscular he is. Because he was a street cat, He's probably a brawler, and but he had been captured 3 times and had his ears clipped and everything by the what do you call it, the rescue places or wherever, the vets that had worked on him. And so they think he had been shot with like a BB gun or something, or a pellet gun. And so after that, they were looking for a family to foster him until he recuperated. And then after a couple weeks of that, Christy just decided she wanted to keep him. And so I kind of thought that's how it would go down. So you guys can see I'm being really loosey-goosey with this, because I'm treating this like it's just a brush sketch more than anything else, but having fun with it. Oh, Chatham says that one's Asan, not Hassan. Okay. Quinch Press says ideas are dangerous. Chatham, redeem to hydrate. Cheers to you guys from the Tiki Tango Tipsy Rum Barrel. I'll let you know when these are available. No one's told me yet. But I did get a thanks for participating in this project email, which I thought was kind of humorous. Speaking of humorous, I saw a thing where leading up to the new James Bond film where they were saying that in Quantum of Solace, Gal Gadot was almost cast as the like main Bond girl in that movie, but apparently she wasn't like a full-time actor yet. She had other obligations and stuff. She was still in school, and I don't know if they just thought she wasn't ready or they thought she wasn't serious, or I don't know, but she lost out. But they were saying that like that was the thing that made her quit like law school or whatever to become a full-time actor. So think about how different that movie would have been. Like Gal Gadot like smiling and all charisma as like in a Bond film. The truth is she probably like Daniel Craig was like, she'll steal all the scenes, don't hire her. But you know, if she'd done that, she might have got typecast and like never became Wonder Woman or something, you know. So Listu says that would have altered the course of her career. Yeah, I mean, maybe she still gets cast in. Maybe she doesn't get cast in Fast and Furious because she would have been too big of a star already from Bond. But then she gets typecast as a Bond girl and like doesn't get some other gigs or something. So I mean, who knows? Like that could have been good or bad for her. Chowtime says, oh, that's like us and our garage kitty. Oh, tell me more about your garage kitty. I want to hear more about the garage kitty. I would try to get Hassan on camera, but you guys, like, he's such a little scaredy cat. Like, everything's on his terms. Like, even if he's in a little, like, crow's nest, like the kitty jungle gym, you can't even really go up to him, hardly go near him. But if you go and like lay down on a sofa or bed or something, he'll come to you, and then that's okay. But it's like a lot of cats are on their own terms, but this cat is really on his terms. Like he'll be so lovable if he comes to you, but if you come to him, he'll either just run away, or if he doesn't run away and you happen to like kind of corner him and love him and pet him, his ears will go back and he's not liking it at all, which is really strange because if he comes to you, he's like all purrs and snuggles and everything. So he definitely just doesn't like to be like cornered or trapped or anything like that. He just has to do his own thing. Let's Do says that's a DC What If episode, right? So I want to watch that, by the way, because a friend of mine worked on it, but not the DC, but the Marvel version of it. But I haven't started that yet. You guys know me. I can't get too many shows going at the same time, but that would be really cool one. I just want to take a second and say thank you to everybody who's watching right now. I see we have quite a few viewers. We are live on Twitch, YouTube, and on Facebook right now. The chat is on Twitch, so if you want to join the chat, hop on over to Twitch, look for Octopolis. We're there. Happy to have you here. And thank you to everyone who's subscribed and everyone who's supporting on Patreon. Really appreciate that. And a big shout out to Let's Do This, who renewed a subscription 16 months. Can you guys believe it? I can't even believe I've been streaming for 16 months. So that's pretty crazy. Thank you. And Let's Do This. It's been too long. We're really glad to see you tonight. It's been it's nice to reconnect with everybody. Chowtime says if it was a Pierce Brosnan film, Gal Gadot would have been perfect. You're right. Yeah. You're so right about that. I wonder if that's even part of it. No, because it was Quantum. It wasn't Casino. So, but yeah, she would have fit in pretty well with the Brosnan era Bonds. I know a lot of people hate on him, but like because of Remington Steele and stuff, I always liked him, and so you know, I don't have any problems with his James Bond. I mean, I think it's like all these actors who play Bond. Like Goldeneye was freaking fantastic. Some of the other ones not so much. And is that the actor's fault? Is that the director, the writer, the whoever? Who knows? But some of them are definitely better than others. So, but he definitely looked the part and was suave and debonair and all that kind of stuff. And it's a shame he didn't get the chance to play the role 10 years earlier when they really wanted him, because who knows how that could have all went down. Like, he probably would have been so good. Randy Cake says, Garage Kitty is Kitty who showed up for weeks crying at our door. He now sleeps in our garage and hangs outside at night. He killed a snake for me a few weeks ago, therefore I love him and he's mine. Oh, that's so sweet. Quench Press Reading to Hydrate, cheers. So that reminds me, I've been telling you guys about Marmy Kitty, Lady Marmalade. And so she had the first batch of kittens and moved them and everything. So she's had the second batch of kittens. They're like 5 weeks old now. And they're in our backyard and they're so cute and adorable. She has 6 of them. And Marmalade is like that. She lives in our backyard and she wants food and water and that kind of stuff. And, but she's still a mama kitten. So, when we take her food, if the kitties are around, she'll hiss at us a little bit and that kind of stuff. But, hey, David, thank you for joining us. Good to see you here, David. Not sure where you're watching us at, but the chat is live on Twitch. So if you want to chat, hop on Twitch. But if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate that as well. Drawing a creepy diver tonight. And maybe, just maybe, this is part of a design for another Tiki mug. I'm not saying that it is, but we could talk about that. But yeah, so Marmy Kitty's been coming around. She's got her 6 kittens, and she's awesome. And so there's 3 white and 3 gold. She's a gold cat. So there's three white kittens and 3 gold kittens. And one of the white ones has like dark tips on its ears and tail and feet. And so we call them Tips because it's a really original, creative name. And he's like the runt of the litter and maybe a little slow to catch on to things. And you would think that's a bad thing, but he's so freaking adorable and so cute. So I think if we had not just adopted Hassan, Christy would be trying to adopt Tips. And maybe she still will try to, but I don't think so because we've got our hands full with Hassan right now. Hey, Quench Press, I know you've been out and about to some tiki bars and stuff lately. Do you have like a tiki bar story or bartender story or something of note from recently to regale us with? I've been meaning to ask you because I know you've really been making up for lost time when it comes to tiki bars and live shows and stuff like that. So if you have a chance, like, let us know, or maybe like a new cocktail you've tried, something like that. I mean, we want to hear the news, man. We want to get it straight from you. Yeah, the James Bond stuff is cool. I was talking to somebody the other day who had never read the books, and I actually had a friend who gifted me all the books a few years ago, and so I did go back and I read them all, and they were like, well, how are the books different from the movies? And I was like, well, the books have lots more freaking like racism and sexism in them. And I'm not defending Ian Fleming at all, but probably because at the time he wrote them, especially the first couple, it probably was either he was ignorant about those topics being, from whatever time and place. It almost, like, if you read them in order, it really does feel like by book number 3, like someone pulled him aside and they're like, you can't use those words, It's like someone whispered in his ear, like, you can't say those things. And then they seem to get like less of that as time went on. So kind of interesting. Quinchpress says, I loved GoldenEye, and the two after it were uneven, but Die Another Day was pure crap. Yeah, I think everyone kind of agrees with that. I mean, GoldenEye was a pretty good movie, like, out of the gate, right? And, you know, it seems like the first Bond films for each actor is, like, one of their best. That seems to be, like, par for the course. I think really the only thing like Die Another Day has going for it is the car chase. But like that stupid windsurfing thing, no, not cool. Not cool, James Bond. I'm not believing it, not buying it. Quinchpress says, Undertow, which is a tiki bar, had their 5th year anniversary yesterday, but I was homesick and didn't get to go. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, when you say homesick, I'm assuming it's just a cold or something, nothing major. I know someone. Well, I don't know them. Someone who's in my sphere of influence, who's a little bit right-leaning, came down with COVID, and I was really shocked and sad to hear that. And they were out for about 3 weeks. But I wasn't really that concerned because their spouse was like, it's not that big of a deal, blah, 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 blah. But then I had to interact with someone else in their organization. And it's not a good thing when the person says, we think he's making a turn for the better. That doesn't instill a lot of confidence, right? And so you're like, oh, their COVID case is way worse than I thought. And so I've tried to like send them like friendly emails and positive wishes and stuff like that. But obviously, no response, and that's fine because I think they're very ill. But it's just a shame, it's so sad. And this is a judgment-free zone on that person. I want them to be healthy, and you think about somebody who's, about my age, and they could have got the vaccine for free, and for whatever reason, right, they chose not to, and now, like, they've been essentially like out of work for maybe 5 weeks now, and sick, and who knows how bad it is. So it's really crazy, and all I can say is, don't believe everything you see on certain news channels, and do what's best for you and your family, and stay healthy, and not just try to take a stance because someone you listen to on a radio or TV show told you to do so. Let's Do It says, hey, Quinch Press, was it the Ice Palace, the laser satellite, or the facial reconstruction? Oh boy, yeah. Those are... And don't forget the windsurfing thing, because that was really bad. Really poorly done. And as much as I think the James Bond cars are cool, the invisible car thing, not so cool. Quinch Press says, hey, just a cold and flu, but nothing else. Got my negative test result. Good for you. Good for you. That's what we like to hear. The one time in life we all want to see negative test results, right? Well, that reminds me that there will be no Tiki Tuesday next week because Christy and I will be at a tennis event in Mallorca, Spain, for which we had to have proof of vaccination, plus we're going to have some negative test results as we go. So no Tiki Tuesday next week, but never fear, we will be back the following week on October 5th. So it's only a 1-week hiatus. And if I could figure out a way to do it from a little island in Spain, I would, but it seems very complicated. So you guys will have next week off. You won't have to put up with me next week. But we will be back the following week. So it's just a short, just a one week break. So never fear. And yes, Christy is playing in a tournament in Mallorca, Spain, which is really cool. We've been there once before for like a tennis, I won't call it a tennis camp, but something kind of like that. Tennis workshops? I don't know. What do you call it? What's a tennis workshop? I don't know. But regardless, she's going to be playing in a tournament over there, so it's really exciting. I will be sure to tell you guys all about it when I return. Now, I remember looking last time and not seeing like real tiki stuff, but there was a lot of cool beach stuff. So I'm going to try to I'm going to pay extra attention this time and see if there's even like a hint of something tiki while I'm over there. And we'll see about that. Quenchpress has been making it to lots of bars, not much as far as tiki bars, though. I did go to Bikini Lounge a few weeks ago for the first time post-vaccination. It's still divey as ever, but so much history. Well, I want to check out the grass skirt, the one we did last week. That seems like right up my alley, and I was surprised I hadn't really heard of it before, but considering how far away it was from downtown San Diego, I guess it doesn't really surprise me, but I definitely want to check that out. So what do you guys think of our little sketch here tonight, our little black and white paint sketch? Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback, and then I'll tell you the big idea here. We still got some cool grayscale stuff to do. That's good. And we're gonna get some more of the like variety of cocktails going as soon as I get back. I've had to kind of keep it simple the last couple weeks just because I know we're getting ready to travel, so I want to buy a bunch of juices and supplies right before we leave. But anybody who's worried about the kitties, don't be. Christy's mother is coming to stay while we're gone. She's going to bring her little yippy dog, but she is going to watch the kitties and the kittens outside and everything. So all the animals will be taken care of. Quenchpress says, hey, for those that don't know, the Bikini Lounge has been around since 1947. Wow, that is impressive, Quench. And where is that at? Where is the Bikini Lounge? Where's their HQ, so to speak? Shout Time says, that looks so badass, it would be totally awesome as a tattoo. Oh, that's a good idea. I think you're right. I think it would make a cool tattoo. Well, Shout Time, I'll tell you what my thought is here. Is I think we have an idea here for like a tiki mug. And so the idea would be that like one side would be the like human version of the diver, and then when you rotate it around, you'd get the like zombie or dead side of the diver. So instead of having a front and a back, it's two fronts. I think it's kind of a cool idea. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So I think it could be cool because like on the living side, everything could be like kind of like attractive and normal and whatever, and then on the dead side, we could add in some like seaweed and some like wrinkled skin on the arms, and so we have like the diver two ways, and so if you were like a bar and you got the mug, right? You've got one side where it's like all attractive and normal and everything, and when you spin it around, you get like the dead zombie side. So I think it could be pretty cool. And then of course this rim up here is where you would consume from, but maybe also like if you put the straw in there, that could be like their oxygen hose, like the straw. So I think it would be really good. Quench Press says, I have a pretty much blocked Die Another Day out of my mind. Chalice Time says, oh my god, it's brilliant. Quench Press says, Bikini Lounge is at 15th Avenue in Grand. It's about a mile west of downtown Phoenix. I've not been there, Quench. So, old school tiki bar. You said very dive bar, too. Now, when you say dive bar, do you mean like biker gangs are hanging out there? Or like give me your definition of what makes this a dive bar. Or it's just like dingier. 15th Ave in Grand. Oh, man, is that over by like the fairgrounds and stuff? Like, give me a little bit more. I don't have a map in front of me, but I don't want to get too meta for people here, but every town has like good parts of their town and bad parts of their town, right? So I don't know. I kind of think a tiki bar in a bad part of town, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good tiki bar. Kind of love it when you get that like that one brush stroke and it just like flows right out. Hey, I gotta tell you guys, and this is not a sales pitch because they're not for sale yet. This mug is actually really nice to drink out of. It's got a good size, and even with the whole tipsy thing that's supposed to mess with you, it works. It's really kind of nice. I am pleasantly surprised. I mean, I designed it to mess with people, but it's a nice vessel. It works good. I don't think anybody would be disappointed if they were consuming or imbibing from one. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, while Quench Press thinks a little bit more about Bikini Lounge. Oh, did you guys see the new Family Guy COVID PSA that came out today? I have to say I was quite impressed with them for doing that. Kind of reminded me of like a Schoolhouse Rock or something. And it made me think like, where are all the other media companies at? Like, really, Seth MacFarlane's the only person who can come out with like a pro-vaccine cartoon PSA. Like, it's funny, it's well done, and we're like, really, he's the brave bastion of sanity among all this craziness. I'm like, where's everyone else? Where's Superman and Batman and all that kind of stuff, pushing the vaccine? So kudos to him, And I understand, especially when he has to be on the same network as Fox News, that takes a little bit of bravery on his part. But again, kudos to him. Quench Press says Bikini Lounge. Oh, we already said that part. Ash Corbin says Fairground is at 19th Avenue in Grand. So yeah, we're not too far off. And Ash, I don't know, is that good or bad that you know exactly where the fairgrounds are? I mean, were you hanging out at the Recall or something, man? No, I'm just teasing you. Ash is like, fuck you, man. I was trying to be helpful, to call me out. Quinch says, no, it's not a biker bar, but it's dark, short on frills, cash only, not the nicest bathrooms. A pool table takes up a good chunk of space. Okay. I've kind of got it in my head what the, you know, do the cockroaches outnumber the people, like that kind of thing? Ash says 15th and Grand cross at Roosevelt. Oh, okay, okay. But we're still too far away to be in like the Roosevelt district, right? We're outside of like the Roosevelt district. We're into something else at that point. Monique says, what's this? So Monique, we're doing this idea for a tiki mug. I'm thinking about calling it Diving Bell, like Belle. And so like one side of the mug is like the diving helmet, beautiful girl's face inside. You see her shoulders, maybe a little bit of bikini top. You spin it around to the other side, skull inside, maybe not as creepy as this, maybe more like a sugar skull kind of thing. And then instead of like beautiful bikini, she's gonna have like starfish and seaweed and wrinkled zombie skin and stuff. So you get sort of like the human and then like the zombie or the undead or whatever you want to call it. So that's the idea. And then maybe like an extra, either just within the normal opening or maybe like an extra opening where you can put your straw and then like the straw becomes like the oxygen tube into the like diving helmet. So that's the rough idea. I just thought we'd like work out a little bit of sketch tonight, see how it goes. Just kind of keep it loose. Maybe let's do a little wet on wet here. Let's get that going. Yeah. There we go. Quinch Press says, my new favorite restaurant, Bacanora, is at 13th and Grand. I don't think I've been there either. 13th Ave, man. I don't know that I've been, like most of the stuff I do the farthest west is like 7th Ave. So I'm interested in all this now. Monique says, sorry I'm late. Oh, hey, it's good to see you, Monique. Ash says, my former manager lived just north of the fairground. He always talked about having $1 million home in a low rent district. Hey, Ash, I got to tell you, I have a friend who built a house at, let's say, Central and Indian School. That's not exactly where it is, but very close. I want to say 5 to 7 years ago. People thought he was insane because he bought a lot and he spent like $300,000 building this like ultra modern home on this lot. Well, flash forward, and now that we have the light rail, his house is worth like 1.3 million now. So people who thought he was insane, guess what? You were the one that was insane. He was smarter than all of us. It's kind of funny how that works out sometimes, didn't it? Quinch Press says it didn't seem excessively dirty, but it's far from polished. Didn't see any cockroaches. The patio's nice. Well, I look forward to checking that out sometime, Quinch. You know, I keep saying that we haven't hung out in a long time because of COVID. I mean, the last time I saw you was when you were over here for Tiki Tuesday. So when I get back from Mallorca, maybe we need to make that a priority, man. Go out and catch up and check out some of these tiki bars and stuff. All right, get a little ink wash going here. Now, I say ink wash, but it's acrylic paints tonight. But we'll call it an ink wash because that's how I'm treating it. I'm treating it like an ink wash. Should do some India ink, but I don't have a fresh bottle to play with, so we'll work with what we got. Quinch says, after I hydrate, Quench says, hydrated. Now I got to restart my music. Quench says, about 6 weeks ago, while waiting for our table at Bacanora, my friend and I walked over to 15th and Grand. Was surprised to see a record store that looked cool. Sadly, it was closed that day. And a really cool looking cafe that was full of people studying and working on laptops. Monique redeemed a posture check. Thank you, Monique. I need that. So, my in-laws arrive in town tomorrow. I'm not unhappy about this news, because again, Chrissy's mom is going to watch the cats while we're away. But it'll certainly be stressful. So we have to try to pack for Majorca while the in-laws are here. So it'll be quite the thing. Yeah, this is starting to come together. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know what you think about this idea of a tiki mug that you can rotate and see two versions of the same character. One that's human and one that's a zombie. I kind of think it's a cool concept. I want to hear what you think, though. Especially with the big old diving helmet on. And that's the vessel that you drink out of. Inquiring minds want to know. You let me know what you think. Randy Cakes says, this looks amazing and I love the concept. Thank you, Randy Cakes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And don't forget to go and support ClarkandDaggerCo.com and their fundraiser for an animal shelter right now. Did any of you guys see the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix? I have to say, it's about one of the saddest things I've ever watched. And I should clarify that, in that Bob Ross himself is portrayed as an excellent human being. It's all the people who were running his business and stealing all of his money and his name and everything that were scumbags. Let me know what you thought, Monique. Monique says she saw it. It was very sad to me. I mean, I live and breathe the art business, and I've been screwed over by every big company you can think of. And I don't talk about it very much because, they'll never hire me again if I do. But to see the whole Bob Ross thing, it was very heartbreaking, because here's a guy who's bringing joy to millions of people, and the people that he trusts to run the business so that he can focus on the creative side are just, it appears to be at least money grubbing, screwing him and his family over at every opportunity. It's just really sad. It's I don't know, in my opinion, you can make a profit and share those profits, or pay people what they should be paid, and do all that stuff and have a great life, and everyone around you can have everyone you're involved with business can have a great life. Or you can do what these people do, which is only look out for yourself and screw everybody else over, and it's just horrible. And it was I don't know, it really affected me. It was really sad. And it brought up a lot of weird feelings from companies that I've dealt with. And to here's, Bob Ross, and I have some Bob Ross merchandise that I thought, this is supporting his family and his heirs, but it's not, they're getting screwed. So now I'm like, well, I won't buy any more Bob Ross merchandise ever again because, his actual family and his son and is not benefiting from any of that. And it is I don't know, it really affected me. It really did. Like more than I thought it would have, for sure. Quenchpress says the little strip that Bacanora is in a few other cool places too. It's been a kind of artsy area for a decade, but it hasn't become the next Roosevelt Row yet. I think that's going to change soon. I think that Grand between 7th and 15th is the next big up-and-coming area. Oh, well, if you have the money, buy real estate there. I wish I could. Monique says they're all gold-digging leeches. And they exploited the hell out of him. Yes, they did. I mean, can you imagine the guy did whatever it was, 20-something seasons of the joy of painting? And like, his son is totally cut out of the picture, and the fights they were having on his death. Can you imagine you've got cancer and you're dying, and like your entire day is spent fighting with people over they're trying to steal your name and your money? Ugh, so sad. All right, guys, I'm gonna get a refill, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this one up. And I'm back. Still good. I switched from one lime juice, I can't think of the name, to volcano lime. So much better. If you have access to volcano lime juice, it's definitely good. And I noticed there's like no sweeteners added to it. It's real lime juice. So good. At least they say it's real lime juice. Monique says, I thought the same about buying endorsed products. Hopefully more people see it and think like us enough to damage their bottom line. Yes, I agree. I've got a couple of Bob Ross things thinking that even in death I was supporting his family and his heirs. Clearly that's not the case, and so never again. Quinch says, I like the idea of the woman's face on one side and the zombie skull on the other side. I think it would make a very cool mug. Not sure this is the right skull for the Yeah, agreed. It's not the right skull. This skull's too creepy. I would think it more like a sugar skull, a little more feminine. Not feminine in like a sexy way, but just something that would be recognizable. But when I first sketched it out, I just did like a creepy skull. So I think you're totally right about that. This skull is just a creepy tiki mug on its own and it works fine. Oh, well, that's good to know too. So what I'll do is I'll do up a full version of this on a future episode, right? Where we'll get the full turnaround. And then I'll turn that into our production partners. And they'll make the decision, right? They'll be like, hey, the diving bell, Belle, is a good idea with the female. Or they'll be like, let's just do the creepy one and forget about the bell twist. So, sometimes I can make things too complicated. So I rely on them to help dial it in and to know what the fans want to see because, sometimes I can get too far out into the left field. And so I need them to rein me in and be like, hey, don't make it so complicated, Brian. Which is good, right? I mean, I want to have the creative ideas, but sometimes I can just try to go like too far. So it's nice to have people on your side who are able to be like, okay, that's good, but maybe we should just do this. And you go, okay, that sounds good. Quench Press redeemed to hydrate. Oh no, Chow Time redeemed to hydrate. Cheers to you, Chow. Chow says, why don't you just freshly squeeze your own limes? I will. So our lime, no, we have a lemon tree at this house. We had a lime tree at the old house. But they're only in season a couple times a year. So I get the like pre-made stuff the rest of the year. But yeah, part of the year for sure, we do our own limes and lemons here, which is definitely the best way to do it. Because the stuff that's just like simple syrup with lime flavoring is just total BS, right? I mean, A, I don't need the extra 1,000 gazillion calories. And B, it's not going to make as good a cocktail. Because it's just going to taste sickly sweet when that's not really what you want. So that's a good call. Very good call. Chow time. I don't know, guys. I think this one's about done. Do you guys see anything else I need to do here? I mean, I can futz with this and we can keep talking for sure, but because this is just the rough idea at this point. It's just a sketch. You know, I always wonder about those Twitch channels where they just leave their artwork up and they don't do anything and they just leave their stream running. And sometimes you'll see those streams get like hundreds of views and I'm like, I'm trying way too hard. If they're getting hundreds of views for like just leaving their artwork on the screen and not doing anything. Oh, thank you, Chow Time. 8 bits. Thank you so much. Chow says, oh, we're spoiled. Then Florida has. Yeah, for sure. So here in Arizona, we're lucky. We have our lemon and limes will come 2 to 3 times a year, which is pretty good, right? But we definitely don't get them year round because the summers get so freaking hot that the trees just stop making fruit, or they'll just make like brown, nasty, dried up fruit. But the rest of the year, it's really good. Monique says you could do a design and call it Divey Jones Liquor. Cheers to you, Monique. Divey Jones Liquor. That is freaking fantastic. You guys don't let me forget that because we'll use that for something. Randy Cake says, I love this. Monique laughed. Chow did cheer his 8 bits. Quinch says, I used Nelly and Joe's lime juice. It's from concentrate and is 1% sodium benzenate. But otherwise, it's 99% lime juice with no sugar. I started using it during quarantine. And I was getting deliveries from Fry's. Well, I tried Volcano this week, and so far it's the one I've liked best, but I have not tried that one, Quench Press, so it may be just as good, if not better. I don't know. But I definitely like this one better than some of the others that I've tried. Okay, so we know that Randy and Chow are planning on going to Star Wars Celebration. Anybody else in our little group thinking about Star Wars Celebration this time around? I kind of feel like there's going to be some pent-up demand since the last one ended up being virtual. It kind of seems like there will be a little bit more people who missed out who want to go. Hey, Monique. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for cheering 50 bits. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I love seeing that. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Hey, where's Catherine and Whitney this week? Should we be worried about them, guys? Like, they rarely miss. Have they ever missed? Should we send out a search party? And I'm like, I'm only half joking, right? Because, like, seriously, they never miss. Maybe we should, like, tag them on Discord and make sure they're okay or something. Now, Tomcat, he and his wife are, like, dealing with some, like, housing issues and stuff. So I know that they haven't been on, and they're, like, focusing on that stuff right now. But Whitney and Catherine, we usually see them every week. So maybe we need to send out a search party to tell, like, somewhere they're in Colorado and make sure they're okay. And again, I'm only half joking because, like, for real, they never ever miss out. Ash says a good chunk of local Star Wars groups will be there, including me. Ash, are you in 501st or Rebel Legion or Mando Mercs? I don't remember, sorry. And I really only don't remember because of your username. It's weird. Some people, I'll call them by their username, and Christy will be like, stop that. You know it's blah, 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 because I don't want to say their real name in case they don't want me to say it. But I'm like, no, after doing all these streams, you just get to think of people as their username. You don't think of them as like their like, you know, given name. Even Quench Press I have trouble sometimes because, like, I know him really, really well, but I'm so used to calling him Quench now after, like, a year and a half. Like, next time we meet up in person, I'll probably call him Quench Press instead of his real name. I'll be like, hey, Quench. And then it'll be like a moment of awkwardness between us. You know, like when you watch you listen to a podcast or something and you get to know those people by what they go by, regardless of what their, you know, given names are. Quinch says, I think Celebration and Phoenix Fan Fusion are the same weekend. Yeah, I know. It's really a bummer. I had told Phoenix, like, yeah, I'm totally on board. And then, like, the next day I found out that Celebration were the same dates. And I'm like, well, there's like a 85-90% chance I'll be at Celebration. So, you know. Ash says, 501st and Rebel Legion, Clone Trooper, Echo, and Vader are the main costumes. Cantina Band is on standby. Ooh, I like the Cantina Band. That's pretty cool. Kelly's planning to go too. Oh, that's so good. Oh, man. I hope it all works out. I really do. You know, I have to say that with the pandemic, I'm really out of the loop with all the Lucasfilm licensees and stuff, and I'm going to have to make a big effort to get back in, but I do hope it all works out, because one of my favorite events in the whole world is Celebration. And especially if some local people are going, that would be great. Monique says, I'm still trying to get contractors in to update my rental house so I can get it rented. Paid for the new carpet, but that will be until November. November? Oh my gosh, Monique. I mean, the whole world is crazy right now with all these delays and waiting for stuff, right? I saw a thing today that said there are something like, let's just say 10.5 million open jobs, like job openings in the United States, like unfilled employment. So 10.5 million. 8.5 million people looking for jobs. So theoretically, there are more jobs than there are people looking for jobs. But they said that because of the like automated like systems and stuff, the people who are looking for jobs are not, they're not getting any sort of like responses and stuff on their applications or whatever, even though they're probably qualified, would probably love to have these jobs. And so you've got like all these employers who are like looking for people, and you have all these people who are looking for jobs, but then we have this like status quo situation where like nothing's happened and no one's moving forward. And it seems so bizarre and so backwards, It seems like it should be like really simple to be like, oh, hey, you have a job opening. Here's a bunch of people looking for work. Let's give them a job. But no, that's not what's happening. And so then you end up having to wait until November to get stuff done that should be done this weekend. Monique says, actually, that's fine because I didn't want it until the walls are done. But time is money, and that 3-week trip to California from October to November doesn't help. Yeah, that's true, too. Ash Corbin says, I burst Brian's bubble about the same weekend last week. Yeah, you did, and it's fine. I'm glad you did, because, so, you guys may not notice this, but my focus is like 99.9% on the artwork at all times. And if it wasn't for Christy, the business part would not get done as well, because she can be like, no, Brian, you can't do that because of this thing. You got to focus on this instead. And so, when Phoenix reaches out and Star Wars Celebration reaches out, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Fine, no problem. I don't think about they're on the same dates. And so I need like someone like Christy or someone like Ash to be like, hey, dumbass, they're on the same dates. You can only do one of those. And then, if I go to Phoenix, it's local. That's easy. If I go to Celebration, I have to drive or fly. But the truth is that, Celebration is a much bigger, Star Wars Celebration is a much bigger event for me as far as like my career and my income and all that kind of stuff. So I love the local con. I've always support them, and I always will support them. But, if I get the invitation to come out to Star Wars Celebration, then that's what I'll do, because there's just no question about it. Quench Press says, like 10 years of friendship, calling me by my real name for the first 8.5, but 1.5 years on here now, I'm Quench. Yeah, I know, it's really weird. I will literally say like Quench Press and stuff, and Christy's like, she'll like, no, his name is blank. So that's kind of funny. Ash says, favorite event is the 501st Bash. Star Wars Celebration is just a bonus. You know what, Ash? That's true. The 501st Bash in Orlando with Weird Al Yankovic as the talent, for lack of a better word, the performer, was amazing. So I remember it was me, Joe Caroni, Dave Filoni. You gotta remember, this is before Disney Plus. So Filoni was a big deal, but he was only a big deal in a small circle. So the three of us, plus a couple of people I can't say, we're all hanging out in the VIP section with Billy D. Williams and his friends. And then we're all watching Weird Al. And that was a magical time, a very magical time. And big thank you to the 501st for the invite, because, as an artist who works for or with Lucasfilm, there's no, I don't have a ticket to go to the 501st party because I'm not a member of the 501st. But luckily, as an artist, we got a couple of invites from some very generous people, and we appreciate that. And it was a magical time, and it's one of my favorite memories from that celebration. Monique says they're actually only like 5 to 6 weeks out on carpet, but with me being gone and the contractor's book solid, I'm pushing it further out than their book. You know what? That's good. Good for you, Monique. You take you take control of the situation. You say, you know what? I'm not waiting on you. You're waiting on me. I like that. I think that's a power move. Ash says, Chicago was fantastic too. I loved the Chicago celebration. The weather sucked. Being from Phoenix, the snow and the ice and the whatever, ooh, that was no good. The food was excellent. The people were great. The facilities were fine. The whole, the union thing. Now, this didn't affect me. So Joe and I moved our own artwork and stuff in. Some of the other artists had already signed up to have their artwork and booth and stuff moved for them. And in California or in Orlando, it's no big deal. But some of the artists were facing fees that the union or whoever charged that were essentially more than they ever could have made in the 3 days. So that was a very unfortunate thing. And so, you know, if you sell your whole 250 prints, you're only going to make a certain amount of money. And then if the, you know, the convention center or the union labor, whoever charges you double or triple that just to move your art in and out, you're kind of screwed. So that was very unfortunate, and I think left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. It just should have been communicated up front instead of as like people getting bills after the event and stuff. But that's all behind the scenes stuff. It didn't affect the actual event. It just affects the artist, and that's unfortunate because, you know, it's not like the artists are millionaires, right? We're all just trying to be there to serve the fans, and so it was very unfortunate. Monique says, we're all waiting on contractors. Boy, I believe that. Quinchpress says, Brian knows this, but Weird Al was a guest on my Zoom film club last month. He watched Ruthless People with us. Such a nice guy. You know what? Weird Al is a nice guy. And, you know, they say, like, don't meet your heroes. And I've definitely had those experiences where people who I idolized were like, maybe they're not really jerks, but they were jerk in that moment. And I can even cut them some slack because I understand when you're at a convention or you're at some sort of thing that you're focused on the business aspect of that or whatever it is you're there to do. You're not focused on the social aspect. But regardless, it happens. So when you meet someone and they're like really enthusiastic and like a fan and like cool to be with in that setting, there's nothing like it because they've transcended their position in fandom and just come back to being like, I'm just a regular person who likes this thing just like you. And there's nothing better than that. Ash Corbin says, we can make sure you get a ticket to the Bash in Anaheim. Won't be a VIP though. Thank you, Ash. I mean, as a Lucasfilm artist, they usually give us the VIP tickets. I won't complain if not, but, you know, if so, Joe and I will have a really good time. And don't make me look like, Ash, don't do this to me. Don't let it happen that Joe gets the VIP and I don't, right? It could be a thing, so let's not let that happen. We have to all be equals. And I'm just teasing, really. Thank you for that. All right, guys. We still got a few minutes here. I'm still goofing around, but I really had fun with this. I hope. It seems like Randy Cakes really likes this design. I haven't heard from the rest of you, but I think we have a lot of good potential here. I think Quinch had a few good inputs on it. To make a mug that as you rotate it, it has two fronts, right? So we're going to have like a human version and like a zombie seaweed drowned in the ocean version. I think that could be pretty cool. You know, I'm always looking for a twist with the tiki mug. So kind of like the tipsy rum barrel. Woo, look at the angle on that, right? That's kind of cool when you get the drink all the way full in there and it's like that. It can mess with you. Ash says if Joe gets VIP, we'll mug him beforehand. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, the stories I could tell about Orlando celebration, but I won't. All right. Let's take a Quinch. Start scouting some raids. Start scouting some raids, and we'll get there in just a few minutes. Guys, I had so much fun drawing this tonight. I'm so excited. I think we have a good idea for another Tiki mug. The Witch Doctor's Potion coming soon. So I don't know how far out that is, but man, hopefully sooner rather than later, right? All this stuff, everything is so backed up. Everything is taking so long, but I appreciate your patience. So as soon as I know when these Tipsy Rum Barrels are available for order, I will let you know. And then as soon as those are ready, hopefully very shortly after that, we'll have the Witch Doctor's Potion. I'm really excited for that. I've seen the sculpt. It looks amazing. So I think you guys are going to like it. Remember, no stream next week. So next Tiki Tuesday, there's no stream. I'm going to be gone to the island of Majorca in Spain. And so there's no way I can think to make that happen. But I will be back the following week. So it's only a 1 week hiatus. Then we'll be back. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna tease it before we go to the credits. What about the new Star Wars anime show? Right? That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be really cool. What about the new Boba Fett thing they talked about today? Right? There's gonna be some special that comes out before the Book of Boba Fett that gives us a little bit more insight. So that's something to look forward to on Disney Plus. So that's gonna be coming up really soon. And then, wow, Night Books. Haven't seen it yet. We'll talk about it next time. Emmy Awards. Ted Lasso and The Crown. Right? Very cool. We could really go in deep on that if we wanted to. But what I want to talk about is Ghostbusters. So I've been working on some Ghostbusters art. Hope to get that out to you guys in October. So it's coming along really good. I think you guys are going to like it. Kind of a little twist on things, but should be fun. And I've been seeing a little bit more interviews and sneak previews and things on the new Ghostbusters. So knock on wood, it's going to be great. So that's coming up really soon too. Quinch Press says, I watched Night Books last night. I've been dying to see it. I've tried to get Christy a couple times and she hasn't said yes yet, but we'll get to it. We'll watch it and then we'll get to talk about it. I want to hear what you guys think too. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and let's do the credits. So hang on for just a few seconds and we'll run the credits. I know we've got some good ones tonight, so stay tuned. Woo, Monique! Go, chow time! Way to go, Quinch Press. And let's do this for resubscribing. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, how about those credits, right? What a great week. We got to play with our diving bell. We got some cheers. We got a resubscription. It's so good. Monique says, I'm stoked for Matrix 4. Oh my gosh, the trailer looks amazing for the new Matrix film. Absolutely cannot wait to see that. Will it be as good as the original Matrix? I don't know. But will it be as good as Matrix 2? Yes, easily, if not better. Chowtime says, yay, we're so excited for today's art is so badass. Thank you, Chowtime. You know what? I've had this idea for the diving bell, the two-faced mug, for 6 months. And I finally got to it today. So I'm so glad you guys like it. And Quinch Press has an idea for the raids. That's good. And so, we're at 90 minutes. Not the longest stream we've ever done, but it wasn't too short. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm going to be gone next week. We'll be back the week after that. So we'll all be ready for that. Oh, good. That one's actually on my raid console too. Yay. So glad. Of course I have commercials. Quinch says, the one I wanted to raid was running credits when I checked. Always the way, right? Always the way. Well, guys, cheers to you from the Tipsy Rum Barrel, from the Diving Bell, from the Witch Doctor's Potion, which is coming soon. And get your likes and emotes and cheers ready. We're going to raid in just about 10 seconds. Thank you guys for your support. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. It's been an amazing 16 months. Can you believe it? And it's only going to get better. I just did an interview for a big magazine about this whole thing with Smithsonian. And one of the things that I said, and that is true, is that if it hadn't been for the pandemic, I never would have thought that I had the time for a Patreon or for a Twitch. And I'm so glad I made the time, because I've got to know all of you so much better. And I feel like I have a real connection with you guys. I hope you feel the same with me. And it's kind of gone from like creator and fans to like creator and fans, right? So it's been really cool for me. I hope it's cool for you guys too. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. In the meantime, let's get ready to raid. Stay on target, and I will see you next time.